Today we're talking to City manager Ian Allinson after the Saints have been brought back down to earth with a 3-0 defeat by second in the table Sutton United. A game in which I think most people would accept, if we got anything out of it, I've got to point out it would have been a bonus looking at where they are and looking at where we are. But in that first half, that point was definitely on. I know we were 1-0 down at half time though.
Yeah, without a shadow of doubt. We said it during the week that, you know, looking at the 3 games we had with Whitehawk, Western and Sutton there, if we got a point out of the Sutton game it would be great, knowing where they are in the league, knowing what quality they've got in their team. But as you said there, I felt first half we were very, very good. I felt we could have quite easily come in up at half time, and unfortunately we're 1-0 down, and you know, didn't concentrate early on. And we spoke about being the first 10 minutes very, very bright. We didn't do a couple of things that was asked to do, which was disappointing, but we come back really strongly and could quite easily have got an equaliser. In the second we had 2 or 3 fantastic chances and we failed to hit the target.
It's funny, down to our place, I know we lost 5-0, but we had chances down there as well. And if you don't take them, these sides are going to punish you. This
is a difference, it is. You're dead right there, and it's you look at that little bit of difference between some of the quality that they've got in ours and some of the quality in ours, and that's not being disrespectful to us, but they've got very good players in their team. And we said, you know, little bits of concentration, little bit of magic here and there will win the game, and they've had the little bit of difference between the 2 teams. And certainly in the first half, as I said there, we've had 3 or 4 good chances. We've had 1 or 2 go across the face of the goal. We've not had bodies arriving, and if you don't take your chances when they come, we got unduly punished with a very poor second goal.
Yeah, 11 minutes into the second half, Ryan Burge got his second goal, and after that it was one-way traffic. It could have been more than 3.
It was very disappointing. I've said that to the players now. I felt I think we threw the towel in a little bit there, which was a bit disappointing because I hadn't seen that apart from probably little spells at Bath, and I felt the last sort of 30 minutes today was very much like the Bath second half performance. And you know, we can't have that. You know, we're in a relegation battle. We know we've got 10 games to go, and we need to have winners out there, and we need to have leaders out there. And I felt in the last sort of 20-25 minutes we didn't have any of that, which was disappointing. So we need to, you know, address it. We've got Tuesday night, which is important, and then, you know, we need to look where we're going to be going into the next 9 games, because we need to, for me, I need to sort of add 1 or 2 bits of skill or quality in there that can give us that little bit of edge that we need. As you see today with some of their players, Sutton's players, they all knew their jobs. They all do their jobs very, very well, and they've got some very good players in there. But they got on the ball, they made the ball move, and they chased the ball at times, put balls in good areas, and they caused us lots of problems, especially in the second half.
Interesting to say about lack of leaders. I was talking about to a former player of ours who played over 300 games earlier on, and is that exactly the same phrase he used. There was no leaders out on that pitch to get us going. Maybe that comes from our losing run and the confidence is sapped still.
Well, you can say that, but we've just won 6-0 and 1-0 against Hemel and against Whitehawk, and you know, I went into the game feeling really, really confident, and I felt first half we had that. I felt we carried that forward from the last 2 games, and unfortunately we got a poor start by giving a goal away after 3 minutes, and then you think, well, maybe that we'll creep back into our game where we do sort of lack a little bit of confidence. But I didn't feel that in the first half. I felt really good at half time. As I said, we went in at half time 1-0 down, could have quite easily gone in on level terms or even in front, and I felt first half was a very, very good, energetic performance. I felt we got on the front foot, we put balls in the good areas, we kept Charlie and Theo hungry, which is what they need. Is, you know, as a partnership, you know, that's probably, you know, one of the top sort of 4 or 5 partnerships in the league. And if you've got people like Charlie McDonald's and Leo Fiopunis, we've got to be putting balls into areas and giving them things to feed off. And unfortunately in the second half we didn't give them a chance, and you know, they were kept very, very quiet. They get frustrated in their game, and it was very, very difficult for us to get any sort of ball or quality into their box for these 2 to feed off. And in the end, you know, for me the second and third goals were very, very poor goals. We didn't defend properly, we didn't do our jobs properly, and we went out of a whimper, which was really disappointing.
Can't afford to play like this on Tuesday. Home to Western-super-Mare. They've ended their bad run with, I think, a 2-0 win today. A draw in that game's not really any good to us, Ian, is it? It's got to be a win.
I don't think any game we can go into at the moment looking for draws. I think we have to try and be positive. We have to try and be on the front foot, and we have to try and get wins, because we need 3 points every game. You know, it's getting less and less games. In terms of 10 games, there's 30 points. I still think we'd probably need to pick up sort of 20 points in that, so it's going to be very, very tough. But you know, if we put a first half performance in like today, then you know, we've got half a chance. If we certainly put that second half performance in, then it's going to be a very, very hard struggle for the rest of the season.
Too early to talk about changes for Tuesday, but have we had Western watched at all lately?
We've got some reports on them. They've had a couple of injuries as well, and they've brought a couple of new lads in this week. But I'll certainly be speaking to Tony Berman at Dartford, who they play tomorrow, find a bit more about them, and obviously then we can plan and prepare for where we're going to be on Tuesday. Hopefully, Hugo's come for a fitness test today, and he should be available. I'll have Ben Martin back on Tuesday as well, so he'll be available. But as I say, we probably need to just look at one or two more players, if we can get maybe one or two in before certainly not before Tuesday, but by next weekend. Hopefully we can look around, see what's available, and maybe try and bring one or two in, which might give us that little bit of leadership that we're looking for. But certainly with people like Ben Martin and Hugo, they're obviously played at a decent level. Whether they'll be straight back in the side, it's something I need to have a look at between now and then, but certainly they can be people, especially Ben, that can be a leader on the pitch, and obviously we might need that going into the last 10 games.
Players you're looking to bring into the side, are they more loan signings?
Well, we're not in a position where we can take any more loans at the moment because we've got 5, so and you can only put 5 on the pitch at any one stage, so it's not something I'll be looking at from the loan side of it. It's just 1 or 2 players we've had our eyes on, and unfortunately the players have done great the last sort of 7-8 days with the 2 wins against Hemel and against Whitehawk, and especially the first half today. So the system, the shape we had was worked really, really well. It's just, I think that last 20, 25, 30 minutes was just very, very disappointing against a very good side. Don't take away from it. Sutton are a very, very good side, and Sutton are going to be right up there at the end of the season. So we can't take away how good they are. But I just felt that in the last sort of 20, 25 minutes that could have quite easily been 4, 5, 6 again.
Looking at the loan players, and not just us but other clubs as well, have used a heck of a lot of loan signings this season. Of course that doesn't actually build a team, although you might actually pick that player up again later in the season. Presumably you'd prefer to get proper players you can work with all season rather than have these short-term signings. Yeah,
without a shadow of doubt, I think you're dead right there. It is something that a lot of clubs seem to take, but certainly from any sort of team shape, any sort of team in terms of what he's trying to build, is say in the changing room, and if you're bringing in lots and lots of lone players, it's always changing in the changing room, and then players get to know somebody, then they don't know somebody, and a new face comes in, and it takes a while. It probably takes 6 to 8 games for somebody to get used to how you're playing, and that is something that I've been aware of for quite a long time, and it's something we've got to be aware of now. We might need a couple of bodies in, and certainly it might be that the lone players, though we've got them in terms of how many we're going to have, and if the players we're going to bring in are loan players, then we not have to look at only having 5 on the pitch at any one stage, which is going to be crazy having a situation like that. So we'll have to certainly look at that over the next sort of 7 to 10 days in terms of what players we've got on loan, what players that are going to be available in terms of what we can bring in and what we can't bring in.
A rallying cry for supporters on Tuesday. I wouldn't say it's our last chance saloon, but if they can get really behind the team, it's not an attractive game in many ways, but it's a big one for us, and we need as much support as we can get.
Yeah, great. I mean, the support have been fantastic. Even again today, they've turned up in their numbers, and it was just a shame we put that sort of last 35 minutes in today, because a lot of people will go away and all they'll remember is the last 35 minutes and how poor that was. But I do take away the positives in the first half. Because there was lots and lots of positives in that first half, especially against a good side like Sutton, and we caused them lots and lots of problems. But once that second goal went in, I thought a lot of heads dropped today, and we do need the crowd. We've got 5, I think it's 5 games left at home, 5 away, and we need the 5 games at home to as many here, because we really need to go and try and win all 5 of those games, because that's the 15 points that will take us up to 41, and then we've got to go and win a couple of games on the road, and that's got to improve, because that hasn't been good enough this season so far.
Yeah, we'll take a look at our away record after Tuesday's game, I think. Right, thanks so much, Ian. So the Saints are back down at Clarence Park on Tuesday night, 8th of March. Western Superman visitors, National League South kick-off is at 7:45.